Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, and welcome back to another video on Marvel Strike Force. Now, today we're going to be doing one of my usual kind of stats and team deep dive video where we're going to be talking about the out of time, which is basically going to be the next month after Red Goblin passes. And we're going to take a look at exactly how strong each of the characters are stats wise, how they stack up with the rest of the game, and also kind of take a little bit of a dive into their kits a little bit and kind of explore it a little bit further. So if you're ready to go, and keep in mind, we started on Black Knight because it's going to be insane. Oh boy. So if you're ready to go, let's boil this down. Okay, so we're gonna start here. This is my spreadsheet. This is tables that I've done for like other teams as far as stats go. Now, this is all based on level 100, 7 yellow, 7 red, blue ISO 4, gear tier 18, Stark Tech 25% with self passives only. However, it does not include bonuses that include like extra in war. It just basically has anything that will give them stat bumps outside of war, raids, those kind of game modes, things like that. The stats itself is not really that important. Like the number itself doesn't really matter. What's kind of important here is the rating and how they stack up between other characters. Now, usually when it comes to rework characters, I would have the before and after version. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to capture the before version of Cap or Captain Carter, and so I don't have that. I just have the new version here. However, I think that they didn't really get like a huge amount of stats, so it's not significantly different. I don't think they really needed a ton. That being said, you can kind of see how they stack up here. So Captain America has a health rating rather of top 22, so that's pretty good. The rest of his stats are pretty mediocre, and his focus I don't think was ever really that good to begin with. So you have 140 with focus and about in the 60s range for the other ones, and his speed of 118. As far as his kits go, though, I do have Captain America here. You know, there's a little bit of crossover with Out of Time, not as much as Rebirth. So, for example, like it does clear negative effects from Out of Time allies on a special. If you know Cap and Captain Carter, you know, like I'm not going to explain the entire kit to you. You know, so if you're familiar with Rebirth, you'll understand. And the ability energy stuff, you get the random allies part, which is going to go to Out of Time, but there's no specific callouts anymore like there was for Avengers and for Rebirth and Raids. We'll give the buffs there, though, as well. And then as far as over here, if character has one or more Out of Time ally, when he's chucking a shield, he gives it more speed bar to himself as well. And now in war, or Raids and war, if this character has 3 or more Out of Time allies, it cannot be dodged. And over here, really, it's just the taunting part over here, and then we have on death of an out-of-time ally. It's the same thing that he does, honestly. But what's interesting is that he doesn't share any of the passives, really, other than he gets additional block chance per out-of-time ally, but the rest of this doesn't really do anything to the... Like there's no additional max health to Wave 1 Avengers and, to Out of Time allies. And going forward, actually, it seems that a lot of the character passives, the new characters specifically, they all focus on one major thing. Like they all excel, each of them excel in one major stat field. So you're going to see passives going back to like, the focus character, the tank character, the damage character, except for they don't really share it with the other characters. So it'll be interesting going forward because I think that they're going to have an insane amount of that stat depending on the character, and we'll see that with some of the new characters. But they're not exactly going to be sharing it with the rest of the team, and that's a huge difference because almost every team up to now has had some sort of passive sharing of stats, and so that's not the case. So I wonder how that's going to reflect in the actual game. Captain Carter, we'll take a look at the stats change on her. She's pretty healthy now, actually, as far as because she's the healer. But yeah, her health is very high, like top 14 in the game. That's pretty good. Like, I don't remember where she was at exactly before that, but that's pretty solid for like an older character. I mean, yeah, she was new like a year ago, but that's still a pretty respectable health stat there. The rest, we have an armor of 38, damage of 54, focus and resistance are pretty poor, and speed is a bit higher than Cap. As far as the kit goes, I mean, again, a lot of pretty much almost everything that she used to have. is also applying to Out of Time. There's the buffs on the special, and then the alt. There's some stuff here in War. Apply Safeguard. This is really important, actually. So this is normally, obviously, her turn 1 move, but she needs 3 or more Out of Time, so it'd have to be a total of 4, which means 4 characters, which means that basically until Starbrand comes out, which is the second new character, she won't be able to do this in War. Which means that you're probably going to want to use, my guess is Black Knight in some sort of hybrid team until Starbrand and the other character, Cosmic Ghost Rider, comes out. So just keep that in mind there. And as far as the passives go, again, it doesn't change, the armor stats, the max health, all that does not cross over to the Out of Time character. So again, it's kind of interesting. In War, there is this, though, the on-spawn apply defense up. So buffs and things like that do typically cross over, though the stats are not. So yeah, we'll have to see how that makes a difference going forward. Now, for the first brand new character, we have Black Knight, and his unique, in case you're not keeping fully up to date, is Arcane Magic. Now, what is Arcane Magic? Well, you might ask, what other characters share that? Can I actually click that here? I don't know if it shows it. Okay. Well, characters like Moondragon, sorry, I meant to say, Darkhold characters. You should have a fair bit of them. How many do I have? 103. So honestly, I think that most people should have Arcane Magic. I can't remember any recent character that's kind of been using that, and so I think that it should be pretty well up for grabs. And he's a skill character, so you shouldn't really have any problems building him. Let's take a look at his stats, though. So he is number 2 in health in the game. And I want to bring up the stats table specifically on health, because as far as the other characters in the game that have higher health than him is Super Skrull, Apocalypse, Nightcrawler, Void Knight. So, he's very well up there. And it's honestly not just his health. He's got insane armor, insane resistance, even more insane resistance when you check out his kit. And actually, his other stats are pretty respectable. A 53 damage rating for a tank is pretty good, I would say. Focus is I don't know if he actually needs it or not. Now, he does have a 50% max health passive to himself, not the team, just to himself, and it's 40% more on defense. So you're like 100% going to be having him on defense somewhere, whether it's Crucible defense or War defense. 90% is absolutely bonkers, because that's not even like, it's this plus 40% more. That's just utterly insane. Now, his 40% armor, it goes up to 60% in War. And then resistance is up to 150% more in War. But then he gets like part of his kit, he'll get even more. So it's just insane. He's like the most insane tank that I've ever seen. And we need to kind of just take a look at his kit once again. We're not going to go through but where I really want to talk about, he's just got so much. His special, taunt, safeguard, and he's doing all of this like outside of War. Right? Like, it's just utterly insane. He's got safeguard on a special. He's just got speed up and immunity to self and out of time allies. And actually, he also includes it to non-out of time allies as well. So he gives like a significant, he's going to be viable everywhere. I don't know what more I can say. Like, this guy's going to be absolutely insane. He's giving offense up to brawler allies, so characters like Super Skrull, who is a brawler, Black Cat, who's a brawler, right? So like an arena, this is going to be like utterly ridiculous if he gets to these kind of skills. And then his passive, right? Like, do we even need to talk about this? The charge mechanic with if you hit him, where is that? Over here? I think it's this. When enemy attacks this character or any ally and he has charged and does not have exhausted, so that'll apply to like Crucible and War. Clear all barrier on enemy and attack that enemy for 30% of the character's max health. Enemies killed by that cannot be revived. So that's like up to 150% of what I would like to call true damage. So it's just going to be like flat 30% damage. Absolutely insane until he gets to a skill where he gets more charges. A lot of this is viable. Like, almost everything is viable outside of the out of time team as well. He's got arena callouts. His speed bar cannot be reduced. Absolute insanity. And this part here, while this character has defense up, now I think this is in War, he gains 1,000% extra resistance. If you have power cores to save, make sure you are saving it for this guy, because it's just absolutely insane, and he's going to be game breaking, honestly, when he comes out. Let's talk about Starbrand. He's kind of like the glass cannon of the team over here. So his health is still pretty respectable for being a heavy damage character. He's at a health rating of 49 because he does actually have 30% health to himself, and he'll get 30% more in War as well. His unique is Astral Energy, by the way. and his damage is 2, the second highest in the game. That's pretty insane. So as far as who's actually better than him, well, it's going to be Red Goblin, because Red Goblin actually has a pretty high damage stat as well. And then his armor 81, to be expected for a damage character. Focus of 30 and resistance of top 115. He's got health and damage passives and even more health in war. Now, what does Starbrand bring to the table? Well, he is a brawler, so everything that just said, no, I don't even think it matters, but Black Knight's call out to brawler was kind of interesting. He does a lot of debuffs though. Damage and debuffs. He does slow, he does speed bar reduction, he does stunning, flipping, and a lot of this stuff is actually outside of war as well. I'm not really seeing a lot of callouts to war, which is a good thing, which means that he could be a little bit plug and play as well. And it's just this part of his passive. So, realistically, this team has the potential to be pretty game breaking everywhere, which is interesting because I said that too many times. Anyways, that war teams sometimes, like Nowhere, is very pigeonholed into war. We found out that they sucked ass in Crucible. And so I'm expecting this team in its entirety to be a lot better. But obviously it's going to function best in war because characters like Captain America and Captain Carter are going to excel in war. Whereas like the 3 newer characters seem to be the ones that are going to do a lot better outside. Maybe that'll mean that you'll have like 3 plot, who knows, right? Like I'm not going to speculate, but for Crucible and things like that, Crucible defense, for example, there might be room for different hybrid versions of this and just using the new characters, but we'll see. Because Captain America is kind of meh on the defense. I think I don't like the order of his skills, but that's just me. So maybe there might be someone better. But then, hey, we have Black Knight, tanking as well. Anyways, Cosmic Ghost Rider. So his unique is Miasma, in case you need a stockpile. But you'll have honestly, at this point, about a month out before Cosmic Ghost Rider hits. Maybe around that, I would say. His stats are beefy. Health 13, damage 18, armor 29, focus 1, best focus in the game. Resistance 115. Okay, so he got a slump somewhere, right? Insane stats across the board. He has a 30% max health passive, 200% focus, and the team does get 30% max health in war, and then he gets 200% extra focus in war as well. So this is the first time, actually, just to go to his passive. This is... Oh, wait, did I fuck that up, actually? Does he not have... he gains an additional 30%. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, it's not a team passive. I don't know what I was talking about there. Nope. He gets an additional 30% max health in war. My mistake, everybody. So yeah, again, it kind of goes with that whole point that no longer are they going to be sharing passives, team passives, things like that. But it does seem that all 3 characters got additional health passives. So again, maybe that's what they'll be doing going forward rather than sharing it across the team. It seems, or just having their stats in general being better to reflect that kind of thing. Now, what does Cosmic Ghost Rider do? He does actually quite a lot as well. His special, he's flipping, he's doing stun and trauma actually outside of war. Again, all of these characters are insane. Black Knight and Cosmic Ghost Rider stun on the enemy protector with the highest speed. If the enemy protector has defense down, apply trauma. Now, granted, it's not as good as like a flat out trauma, like on anyone. Clear all battlefield effects on the allied side. Very interesting, very unique, and the first person to ever do that. His ultimate is going to clear barrier on the primary target. This one does apply stun and trauma to the primary target, and this is also outside of war. So these guys are like pseudo legendary characters. Honestly, clear all battlefield effects as well on both skills. Absolutely insane. His passive, again, now what's really interesting about this, after an enemy uses an ultimate ability, if this character is not exhausted, bury yourself and all out-of-time allies for 30% of this character's max health. Now, if there's ever an instance where, I don't know, you could use this character with other out-of-time characters, I'm not sure if that's going to happen with Dark Dimension or anything like, because now that I think about it, Starbrand is... Cosmic Ghost Rider is obviously cosmic. The rest of them are global. So I'm not sure there will be an instance where, at least in Dark Dimension, where you can use them together. However, Cosmic Ghost Rider standalone, if anyone uses an ultimate ability, it's going to barrier himself for 30%, right? So maybe his survivability is going to be pretty insane in places like Dark Dimension and going to be a must build. So I think that we're going to have to do a new tier list when it comes to Dark Dimension characters and things like that going forward, because, in the next month, There's going to be an insane amount of new characters, and all of these seem. I'm not sure about Starbrand 100%, but Cosmic Ghost Rider and Black Knight are going to be must builds, absolutely. So this is just insane. This is an insane team. Their stats are crazy for the most part. Like they are, honestly. I think they're probably some of the best stats that we've ever seen in the game, not counting Captain America and Captain Carter, but the new characters, insane across the board. And I think this is kind of like a new era of power creep that we're seeing here. Like, yes, power creep has happened in Marvel Strike Force, but I think we're seeing this like, if I had to do like it's like, like right now, like the leap right now is just going to be massive over the next month when this team finally releases, because it's going to be meta defining. It's going to be meta defining. That's all I have. That's what I have left to say. Is you're going to want now. I don't think that people should always spend money in this game, but if I'm saving cores. I'm saving Power Cores for Black Knight's release, at least because I think he's going to be absolutely insane, and he's going to be a plug and play defensive character. Cosmic Ghost Rider is going to be really strong. If I'm lucky, then I might actually be able to core Cosmic Ghost Rider by that point and still have enough cores for all of that. Who knows? We'll see. That's the end of this video, everyone. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think that this team is going to be earth-shattering as they appear? Because it kind of does look that way, but we'll see in the coming weeks, right? That's the end of this video, and until next time, stay safe and healthy. I'll see you all later. Boilon, signing out.